Are you one of the millions of men over 60 who wakes up every morning feeling like something is just off? Maybe your legs feel heavy before the day has even started. Maybe you get winded climbing a flight of stairs that never used to bother you. Or maybe your hands and feet are cold even when the room is warm, and nobody has been able to give you a straight answer about why. Here's what I want you to consider today. The answer to some of those symptoms, the fatigue, the sluggishness, the circulatory issues, might be sitting in your kitchen pantry right now. I am talking about ordinary baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, the same white powder most men use to keep their fridge smelling fresh. And what the research shows about what it does inside your body is genuinely surprising. Stay with me through this entire video because benefit number 7 is the one that most of my patients cannot believe, and it is backed by clinical research. I'm Dr. Fiona Gray, a urologist with 12 years of experience helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality, strength, and confidence. I've worked with thousands of men who thought their best days were behind them. What I've seen over and over is that the solutions men need are often simpler than they expect and more powerful than they ever imagined. Before we get into all 10 benefits, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from. I read every single comment personally, and I love knowing how far this community reaches. Are you in the US, Canada, the UK, Australia? Let me know. Now, let's talk about what is actually happening inside your body when blood flow is compromised, because most men have no idea how serious this is or how quietly it progresses. Picture your entire circulatory system as a network of rivers running through your body. When those rivers are flowing freely, everything thrives. Your muscles get the oxygen they need. Your brain operates at full capacity. Your organs function the way they were designed to. But what happens when those rivers slow down? When the banks start to narrow? When the water becomes sluggish and thick? That is exactly what arterial stiffness does. And here is the uncomfortable truth. After the age of 50, arterial walls begin to lose their natural elasticity. Inflammation builds up. The blood has to work harder to move through vessels that are less cooperative than they once were. The heart compensates by working overtime. And the man living inside that body, he just feels tired. He feels slower. He feels like he is aging faster than he should. The second problem is pH imbalance. Your blood maintains a very precise acid-alkaline balance, and modern diets, heavy in processed food, red meat, sugar, and alcohol, push your body chemistry toward the acidic end. When your blood becomes more acidic, your red blood cells literally become less efficient at carrying oxygen. Less oxygen to your muscles means less energy. Less oxygen to your brain means slower thinking. And less oxygen to the tissues that matter most means a quality of life that declines year by year. The third problem, and the one men are least likely to talk about, is that poor circulation affects performance, in every sense of the word. Your physical stamina, your mental sharpness, and yes, your sexual vitality are all downstream effects of the same root issue. Your blood is not flowing the way it should. And what baking soda does, when used correctly, is address all 3 of these problems at the source. So let's go through all 10 benefits. And I want you to pay attention not just to what baking soda does, but to how it works. Because when you understand the biology, you will actually follow through. Benefit number 1, baking soda improves oxygen delivery to your muscles. Sodium bicarbonate is what scientists call a buffer. That means it neutralizes lactic acid, the compound that builds up in your muscles during physical activity and causes that burning, fatigued feeling. When lactic acid accumulates, your muscles essentially shut down early. They tap out before you do. By introducing sodium bicarbonate into your system, you give your muscles a longer runway before that shutdown occurs. Research published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that sodium bicarbonate supplementation significantly improved muscular endurance. For a man over 60 who wants to walk farther, work in the garden longer, or simply get through the day without hitting a wall, this is meaningful. Many of my patients describe this shift as finally feeling like their body is cooperating again. One of my patients, Gerald, 68, a retired contractor, told me he had stopped doing his weekend woodworking projects because his arms would give out within 20 minutes. After 6 weeks of a consistent baking soda protocol, he came back and said, "Dr. Gray, I finished a full cabinet last Saturday. First time in 2 years. That is what improved oxygen delivery looks like in real life." Benefit number 2, baking soda reduces chronic low-grade inflammation. A landmark study from the Medical College of Georgia at Augusta University found that consuming a baking soda solution triggered the spleen to shift its immune response, specifically reducing the activation of inflammatory immune cells called macrophages. In plain language, baking soda signals your body to dial down its inflammatory response. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is now understood to be one of the primary drivers of arterial stiffness, cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and joint degeneration. Reducing that inflammation is not a minor win. It is one of the most important things you can do for your long-term health. Benefit number 3, baking soda supports healthy blood pressure. When your arteries are less inflamed, they are more flexible. When they are more flexible, the heart does not have to generate as much pressure to push blood through them. This is the direct mechanistic pathway from reduced inflammation to improved blood pressure regulation. For men who are on the border of hypertension or who want to support their existing medication with lifestyle tools, this is a genuinely important benefit. I always advise patients to work with their physician when adjusting any protocol related to blood pressure, but the underlying biology here is well established. Benefit number 4, baking soda helps restore healthy blood pH. Your blood is designed to operate within a very narrow pH range, approximately 7.35 to 7.45 on the alkaline side. When your diet is consistently acidic, your kidneys and respiratory system work around the clock to compensate and keep that pH in the target zone. That constant compensatory work takes energy that your body could otherwise be using for repair, circulation, and vitality. Sodium bicarbonate gently supports your body's own buffering systems, reducing the burden on your kidneys and helping your blood chemistry stay in the optimal zone with less effort. Think of it as giving your body's pH management system a much-needed assistant. Quick pause before we continue, because benefit number 7 is specifically about something men over 60 rarely discuss openly, and it is one of the most clinically significant on this entire list, so make sure you are still with me. Benefit number 5, baking soda improves kidney function and reduces uric acid buildup. The kidneys are the filters of your circulatory system. Everything that travels through your blood, every waste product, every metabolic byproduct, eventually passes through the kidneys for filtration. When blood is too acidic, the kidneys struggle to filter efficiently, and uric acid crystals begin to accumulate. This contributes to gout, joint pain, and kidney stones, all conditions that disproportionately affect men over 60. Baking soda has been used medically for decades as a treatment to alkalinize urine and help dissolve uric acid crystals. For men dealing with recurring gout flares or early-stage kidney function decline, this benefit alone is worth paying attention to. Benefit number 6, baking soda reduces exercise-induced fatigue. This builds on the muscle oxygen benefit I described earlier, but it goes further. Studies on competitive athletes, and more recently on aging populations, have found that pre-exercise sodium bicarbonate supplementation dramatically reduces perceived exertion. In other words, the same amount of physical activity feels less difficult. For men over 60 who are trying to stay active, but find that exercise has become effortful in a way it never used to be, this is significant. It makes the experience of movement more comfortable, which means you are more likely to keep doing it. And consistency is everything when it comes to cardiovascular health. I had a patient named Thomas, 71, who had been an avid golfer his entire adult life, but had started skipping rounds because 18 holes left him exhausted for 2 days afterward. We introduced a baking soda protocol timed around his golf days. Within 3 weeks, he told me, "I'm finishing 18 holes and still going out to dinner that night." His wife sent me a card. That's the kind of quality of life shift we are talking about. Benefit number 7. Baking soda supports erectile function through improved vascular health. I am going to be direct with you because this is the clinical reality and because you deserve honest information. Erectile dysfunction in men over 60 is, in the vast majority of cases, a vascular problem, not a psychological one, not an inevitable consequence of aging, and not something to be ashamed of. The smooth muscle tissue that regulates blood flow into erectile tissue responds directly to nitric oxide, a compound that requires a healthy vascular environment to function properly. When blood pH is optimized, when inflammation is reduced, and when blood flow is restored, the underlying vascular function that supports sexual performance improves as well. Multiple studies on alkaline buffering and vascular health support this pathway. This is not a cure, but it is a legitimate physiological mechanism, and men who commit to cardiovascular and pH-supporting protocols often report improvements in this area within 8 to 12 weeks. Benefit number 8. Baking soda enhances brain blood flow and mental clarity. Your brain is the most blood-hungry organ in your body. It consumes approximately 20% of your total cardiac output, despite representing only about 2% of your body weight. When circulation is compromised, when blood is thicker, when arteries are stiffer, when the heart is working harder, the brain is one of the first organs to feel it. The brain fog, the word-finding difficulty, the slower processing speed that men notice in their 60s, much of that is circulatory. As baking soda supports better blood flow, better pH balance, and reduced systemic inflammation, cognitive function often improves in parallel. Not dramatically, not overnight, but noticeably and progressively over weeks and months. Benefit number 9. Baking soda supports digestive health, which is directly connected to circulation. There is a well-established connection between gut health and cardiovascular health, what researchers call the gut-heart axis. When your digestive system is inflamed or imbalanced, it produces compounds that enter the bloodstream and contribute to systemic inflammation. Baking soda's gentle alkalinizing effect on the digestive environment reduces acid-related inflammation in the gut lining, supports healthier digestion, and reduces the production of those pro-inflammatory compounds. Better gut health means less cardiovascular inflammation. Less cardiovascular inflammation means better blood flow. It is a cascade of positive effects that starts in a place most men would never expect. Benefit number 10. Baking soda supports post-exercise recovery and reduces muscle soreness. The lactic acid buffering effect we discussed in Benefit 1 has a direct application to recovery as well. After physical activity, whether that is a walk, a workout, yard work, or anything that taxes your muscles, lactic acid and other metabolic byproducts remain in the muscle tissue and continue to cause that familiar soreness and stiffness the following day. Sodium bicarbonate helps your body clear those compounds more efficiently. Men who use a baking soda protocol consistently report that they are not just more energetic during activity, they are less stiff and less sore the day after. For a man over 60 who wants to stay active without paying the 2-day recovery tax, that matters enormously. Here is your simple action plan. This is exactly what I walk my patients through. Step 1. Start with a very small dose to assess your tolerance. Mix a 1/4 teaspoon of plain baking soda, not baking powder, not anything with added flavors, just pure sodium bicarbonate, into 8 ounces of water. Take this once daily in the morning, at least 30 minutes before eating. Do this for the first week, and pay attention to how your body responds. Step 2. If you tolerate the first week well with no significant digestive upset, increase to 1/2 teaspoon in the same amount of water, once daily in the morning. This is the maintenance dose for most men. Step 3. Be consistent for at least 60 days before evaluating results. The benefits I described, particularly the anti-inflammatory effects and the circulatory improvements, are cumulative. They build over weeks, not days. Track how you feel each week, your energy level in the morning, your endurance during activity, your mental clarity, and your recovery after physical exertion. Step 4. If you have kidney disease, high blood pressure, are on any prescription medications, or have been told to monitor your sodium intake, please speak with your doctor before starting this protocol. Baking soda contains sodium, and this is a genuine consideration for some men. That is it. 4 steps. Nothing exotic, nothing expensive. Just a consistent, science-backed protocol that works with your body's own chemistry. Before I let you go, I want to say something directly to the men watching this who have been quietly struggling. If you have been frustrated by fatigue that nobody seems to take seriously, you are not imagining it. If you have been embarrassed by changes in your stamina or performance, you are not alone, and you are not broken. If you have felt like your best years are behind you, I want you to hear this clearly. They are not. Not even close. The men who walk into my clinic feeling like shadows of themselves and walk out months later with energy, confidence, and vitality, they all started with one decision. They decided to stop accepting decline as inevitable and start giving their body what it actually needs. Your arteries can become more flexible. Your blood can flow more freely. Your mind can sharpen. Your strength can return. The biology is on your side. The only question is whether you will act on what you now know. If this video gave you something useful today, please do 3 things for me. Hit that like button. It costs you nothing, and it helps this information reach more men who need it. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 10 benefits surprised you the most? I genuinely want to know what resonated. And share this video with one man in your life, a friend, a brother, a father, who you think could benefit from hearing this. That one share might change his life more than you realize. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Every week, I bring you practical, research-backed information designed specifically for men in the second half of life. No fluff, no fear-mongering, just the truth about what your body needs and exactly how to give it. I'm Dr. Fiona Gray, reminding you that after 50, vitality isn't lost. It's waiting to be awakened. Take care of yourselves, gentlemen, and I will see you in the next one.